Hey everyone, welcome to the next episode of this Connecting the Dots Backwards. So, this is the fourth story that I have for you in this series. And as you know, or might not know, I'm recounting all of the magical things that I experienced with Fra Lippo Lippi to date, which is my vegan lipstick and lip balm brand. And I am connecting the dots backwards through the teachings of Bashar, Seth, Neville, Goddard, Abraham Hicks, Sarah Landon, and the Council, Oprah, everyone that I love and respect a lot. And interestingly enough, they're all non physical beings speaking through a physical vessel. And somehow I trust that information more because, yes, they're coming through a human vessel, through a human being that is translating everything that comes through their own glasses. And still, I feel or not and still now it feels like I'm defending it. I'm just okay. I am defending it a little anyway. I love this information. That's the point. So, okay, the flamingo, the logo. So, the last story I told you about how the brand name was already there before I even had a product or a brand. And this is then also, I reflected back in the last video how there's no linear time, there's also only simultaneous time, and how amazing it is that my higher self, my inner being, they already knew because the higher self stands on the top of the mountain, as Bashar describes it, and the me, the physical me here, is following the breadcrumbs and connecting the dots backwards. As Bashar says, the physical mind is not designed to find out how things will happen. It can only see how things have happened. So, connecting the dots backwards. Now, back to the logo. So, at one point, I had my first sales point, and that was so beautifully amazing how that came together. You can hear that in the last video I made. It was number 3, connecting the dots backwards, number 3. And I brought my lippies to Bona, to her beautiful store that still exists, Bon Bon Boutique, in the center of Amsterdam. And they were on a display, and I only had letters. And so if you have a lip balm tube, imagine putting it down, laying it down, so it's horizontally. And I had the name Fra Lippo Lippi, vegan lip balm underneath, in the whole width, I guess you would say, of this tube. So when you would set it up straight, you can't read, well, you can read it, but you have to turn your head, right? Which is actually, now that I come to think of it, this is true for all the lip balm brands. But anyway, I didn't think of that then, which is good because it brings me to having the perfect logo, and I love and adore the flamingo. I don't know if you remember me saying it. I think it was in the second video that everything that the flamingo stands for, metaphysically, spiritually, or however you call that, is who I am and how I look at life. And I will read you an account of what it stands for in a moment. First, back to the logo. So I brought the lippies to Bona, the owner of Bon Bon Boutique, and at one point she messaged me saying, "Hey, Victoria-Monique, this is not really handy because, like, people, your brand name is not really known, and people have to turn their heads, and like it's really unclear what it is and what it stands for, and blah blah blah. You need to have a logo." And I was like, "Oh, okay." The funny thing was, I had decided I was going to take myself as a brand new brand and product owner seriously or actually this was before the product, but I already had decided that I wanted to do something, and I decided I'm going to start a blog. I need a logo, la la la. So I had contacted a friend of a friend and had paid her for a logo, because I was like, if I take myself seriously, I'm also going to invest money in this. Because if I look for everything for free, what a lot of people do, and which is totally fine, but for me, it was not putting my money where my mouth is. When I really believe in something and believe in me, I take myself seriously and I want something professional. So that's how I looked at it at the time. And she had made a logo for me for my website, and I never ended up using it because it's, yeah. The thing is, again, I was following my highest excitement. I was a little attached to the outcome then. Bashar says, follow your highest excitement without being attached to the outcome. And this is also what he says. You never know what it leads to. It might lead you to the path that you need to be on, which is a completely different path, which in this case happened. So, I had the logo from her. Her name is Bonnie, which is actually pretty funny when you think of it. Bonne and Bonnie. And these are not names that are like very common in Holland. Bonnie? Yeah. Okay. Well, who cares? You probably don't care. You want to know what up with this freaking flamingo? I'm getting to the point soon. So, Bonnie had made that logo that I never used, and Bonne told me, you need to have a logo. And I was thinking, like, okay, so it needs to be something upright so that it is recognizable, something that suits me, that I like. And I remember thinking, I want something with animals because I do this for the love that I have for animals. Again, this is not an account of everyone, you have to go vegan. It had nothing to do with it because my belief now is everyone should do what feels good to them. Then I was pretty much into the everyone, you have to stop eating meat. And I was doing it in a low-key fun way. Now I'm just like, everyone just do whatever feels good to you. And if eating meat and not being vegan is a part of that, good for you. You know what's best for you and your life. And whenever you decide to change that, totally fine too. So this is not any judgment around vegan or not vegan. This is just my story. So I was thinking, I want an animal. An animal. So I went on the internet and I started to check out different animals. And to be honest, I don't know how I came to the flamingo exactly. When was the point that I saw that flamingo that I saw and thought, "Ah, this is it. This is perfect." It's like kind of thin, because it needs to fit in the screen of your eye on that lip balm thingy in one view, because if I would have a tiger on four legs, you would still have to turn that tube. And so I had the flamingo and I thought, perfect. You can see it perfectly. I love how elegant and kind of quirky they are as well. This is perfect. So what I did was I downloaded that picture and I sent it to Bona and I said, hey, Bona, is it possible for you to make a logo out of this? And she said, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Within an hour, I don't even think it was an hour. I think she sent it back to me within 15 minutes. And there I had my flamingo logo. So I got to work so that I had the Fra Lippo Lippi name above the flamingo. And that's how everything came together. You can't make this stuff up. And why I say that you can make this stuff up? Well, also because you can make it up. But then at one point, the flamingo as a thing, as a, what's the word? Like creative expression showed up everywhere. It exploded. And now still you see flamingos a lot, right? And you will probably notice them even more now that you're also connected to this story. So the moral of the story is this. Again, always follow your highest excitement without being attached to the outcome, Bashar. Know that the higher mind, the higher self, has the whole picture, stands on top of the mountain. We are just in the valley following the breadcrumbs. And everything always comes together in the most perfect way. And how amazing that I was already in touch with Bonnie. I had paid her for a different logo that I never used. And then, without even asking me any money for this, she made this logo for me. And to this day, I adore the Flamingo logo. Okay, and now into what it stands for. The flamingo symbolism is actually the word that I was looking for before. Flamingo stands for beauty, balance, potential, and romance. It says here on the page that I'm reading out loud, their effortless grace and ability to stand on one leg represent balance and harmony. They are a great omen if you seek more balance in your life. Also, potential. I love that. Baby flamingos are white and they develop their pink color as they age. So, if you are following what suits you, and in this case, the flamingo, what suits the flamingo is eating the way they eat because they get their color from what they eat, from the shrimps and like the stuff that they eat. And so if you follow what suits you, you will flourish into your true colors. And we as humans are light. It's what the council says. It's what, I'm not sure if Abraham Hicks says it this way. Paul Selleck says this. And we know this to be true. More beings say that we are light. We are light, made denser, physical. But in essence, not but, and in essence, we are light. So the colors we have and the light we are can shine through best when we follow what suits us. Otherwise, you're dimming your light. Otherwise, you have less vibrant colors. We are tone. That's what Seth says. We all have a significant, unique vibrational tone to us. And we have a color to us, light. We're light. A frequency. Sound is frequency. Light is frequency. And this reminds me of a story I heard on an Oprah Winfrey show. And this is the last part of this video. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next. Anyway, she was interviewing someone who had had a near-death experience. And he was the only person to survive an airplane crash. And he was telling her how he was laying on the ground, obviously not in a pretty state, and how he would see all these light orbs going into the sky. And some light orbs were small, and some were super shiny and bright. And that's when he thought, I want to be a big, shiny, bright orb when I leave this world. And so this is the explanation that I have for it, and that this person had for it, and it's paraphrased in mine, is that when you follow what belongs to you in life, and you're not being led by fear, you're being led by, okay, I have no idea how this is going to pan out, but this is my heart's desire and I'm going for it. And I share, and it doesn't have to be on YouTube, right? It's like just sharing you with whomever needs it. Then you become this bright, shining light. And when you leave planet Earth, because you never leave existence, is also what Bashar teaches us. You exist. Like there's no, you cannot not exist. You can exist in a different form, so non-physical, but you cannot not exist. When I leave planet Earth, and when whomever leaves planet Earth that is following their highest excitement and who they truly are, like what Oprah Winfrey does, or Sarah Landon does, or I am doing now, is you will leave planet Earth as big a light as you can possibly be. And otherwise, when you are living in fear and led by fear and buy into all of the systems that are just there to show you what is true and not true, it's a game of life. We're playing a game of life. Florence Scovel-Shinn wrote a book, The Game of Life, and How to Play It, and I highly recommend it. Then if you are not, going for what excites you and are led by fear, then you dim your light and you will leave this world a dimmed light. And there's no judgment. It's just, wouldn't it be super nice if you just had the freaking guts to think, you know what? I'm going for what makes me happy, because that's what I came here to do. In any case, this is the story of how the flamingo came to be. And in the next episode, I will tell you how I got to make a living. Well, next episodes, how I got to make a living from selling lip balms at first, just lip balms. And believe me, I was like, how can I ever make this into something that supports me? Okay, sending you much love. See you in the next. Bye.